Welcome back to Stoic Spirit. In this video, we're diving deep into the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of the most profound Stoic philosophers, to explore a practice often overlooked in our modern world, the power of silence. We live in a culture that often glorifies constant communication, relentless self-expression, and the need to fill every moment with noise. But what if I told you that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all? Stoicism, a philosophy born in ancient Greece, reminds us that silence can be an incredibly potent tool for self-mastery, personal growth, and navigating the complexities of human interaction. It offers us a sanctuary from impulsive reactions, a space for thoughtful reflection, and an opportunity to cultivate deeper connections with ourselves and others. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal journal, Meditations, consistently emphasized the importance of choosing our words carefully and embracing silence when necessary. He understood that words, once spoken, cannot be taken back, and that silence, strategically employed, can prevent unnecessary conflict, foster understanding, and preserve our inner peace. Silence isn't about being passive or withdrawn. It's about choosing to respond with intention and wisdom rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most impactful communication is the unspoken kind. So, let's explore 10 specific situations, drawing inspiration from Stoic principles, where embracing silence can be particularly beneficial, helping you navigate social dynamics with grace, build stronger relationships, and cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness. 1. Silence when angry. The first situation where silence demonstrates its strength is when you're feeling angry. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the circumstances that arouse them in us?" Think about it. How many times have you said something in the heat of anger that you later regretted? How often has an impulsive reaction, fueled by rage or frustration, damaged a relationship or created unnecessary conflict? When emotions run high, especially anger, our judgment becomes clouded. We're more likely to speak or act rashly, without considering the potential consequences. Silence, in these moments, acts as a powerful shield, protecting us from saying things we'll later wish we could take back. It creates a crucial pause, a space between the stimulus, the trigger of our anger, and our response. This pause allows us to regain our composure, to step back from the immediate intensity of the emotion, and to access our rational mind. Instead of being driven by blind rage, we can begin to assess the situation more objectively. We can ask ourselves, what's truly at stake here? What kind of response will best serve my long-term goals and values? By choosing silence in moments of anger, we're not suppressing the emotion. We're simply choosing not to be controlled by it. We're taking ownership of our response and choosing to act with wisdom rather than react with impulsivity. This is the essence of Stoic self-mastery, the ability to govern our own inner world, regardless of external circumstances. And in the realm of relationships, this self-control can be the difference between escalating a conflict and resolving it peacefully. 2. During gossip or negativity. Imagine gossip as a contagious virus, infecting minds and leaving a trail of damaged reputations in its wake. Resist the urge to become a carrier. Your silence in the face of such negativity isn't passive. It's a powerful statement. It broadcasts your integrity and wisdom more effectively than any witty retort or condemnation. It's a shield, protecting you from the toxic fallout, the resentment, the conflict, the erosion of trust that inevitably follows. Don't waste your energy arguing about what constitutes good character. Embody it. Let your actions, or in this case, your conscious inaction, speak volumes. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. By choosing silence amidst the storm of gossip, you cultivate a peaceful inner world, a sanctuary from the drama and negativity. This quiet strength earns the respect of others, silently communicating your values and setting a positive example. Remember, choosing silence during gossip isn't about condoning wrongdoing. It's about prioritizing your own well-being and choosing the path of peace and inner strength. It's a refusal to participate in the destructive cycle, a commitment to rising above the fray. 3. When you don't have all the facts. The Stoics understood the inherent fallibility of human judgment, particularly when faced with incomplete information. It's remarkably easy to leap to conclusions, driven by biases, assumptions, and the ever-present human desire to appear knowledgeable. Epictetus warned, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." This advice resonates deeply in situations where we lack the full picture. Offering opinions without a thorough understanding is not only unwise, but potentially harmful. Silence, in such instances, becomes a virtue, a testament to our commitment to reason and wisdom. The Stoic emphasis on reason and virtue dictates a measured approach to forming judgments. Instead of rushing to fill the gaps in our knowledge with speculation and conjecture, we should embrace the wisdom of silence. This allows us to observe carefully, gather information diligently, and cultivate a deeper understanding of the situation before venturing an opinion. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This suggests that true wisdom lies not in pronouncements, but in action informed by careful observation and reasoned judgment. Furthermore, the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature encourages us to accept the limits of our knowledge. We cannot know everything, and pretending otherwise is an exercise in futility. Embracing silence when we lack the full picture is an acknowledgement of this fundamental truth. It's a demonstration of humility, a recognition that our understanding is always incomplete and subject to revision as new information emerges. This humility allows us to remain open to learning and growth, essential components of the Stoic pursuit of wisdom. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, often emphasized the importance of careful observation and reflection. He wrote, "If wisdom were offered me on condition that I should keep it shut away and not divulge it to anyone, I should reject it." While Seneca valued the dissemination of wisdom, he also understood the importance of its foundation in careful observation and reasoned judgment. Speaking without understanding, offering opinions based on incomplete information, would be a betrayal of this principle. Therefore, when confronted with situations where we lack the full picture, the Stoic approach is clear: embrace silence. Listen attentively, observe carefully, and gather as much information as possible before speaking. This demonstrates not only wisdom and restraint, but also a commitment to living in accordance with reason and virtue, the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy. It's through this disciplined approach to knowledge and judgment that we can truly begin to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and wisdom. 4. In the face of criticism. The Stoics viewed criticism not as a personal attack, but as an opportunity for self-improvement. They understood that not every critique requires a response, and often, the wisest course of action is to absorb the feedback, reflect on its validity, and adjust accordingly without engaging in a defensive or emotionally charged argument. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" This highlights the Stoic perspective of using criticism, even if unfair or incomplete, as a potential source of self-awareness. Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control, which includes our own thoughts and actions, but not the opinions of others. He said, "It's not things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about these things." This principle underscores the Stoic approach to criticism. Rather than becoming emotionally entangled in the delivery or intent of the criticism, we should focus on its content and potential value. If the criticism holds merit, we can use it to refine our character and improve our actions. If it's baseless, we can dismiss it as irrelevant external noise. Furthermore, the Stoic concept of apatheia, often translated as tranquility or equanimity, encourages us to remain unperturbed by external events, including criticism. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or apathetic, but rather cultivating an inner resilience that allows us to weather the storms of life without losing our composure or sense of self. Responding defensively to criticism often stems from a desire to protect our ego, a vulnerability the Stoics sought to overcome. As Seneca wisely observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. By detaching from our emotional reactions and focusing on the potential value of the feedback, we can transform criticism from a source of stress into an opportunity for growth. Ultimately, the Stoic response to criticism is a disciplined exercise in self-reflection and personal development. It's about discerning the valuable from the irrelevant, focusing on what we can control, and striving to live in accordance with reason and virtue. By choosing reflection over reaction, we embody the Stoic ideal of wisdom and cultivate an inner strength that allows us to navigate the challenges of life with grace and resilience. This approach allows us to use criticism, even when unwarranted, as a tool for self-improvement, further solidifying our path towards a virtuous life. 5. When you're tempted to boast. The Stoics held humility as a cardinal virtue, recognizing that true strength resides not in self-promotion, but in quiet competence and virtuous action. Boasting, in their view, was a symptom of insecurity, a need to seek external validation to compensate for a perceived lack of inner worth. Seneca's words, "It is quality rather than quantity that matters," encapsulate the Stoic perspective perfectly. True accomplishment lies not in the volume of our pronouncements, but in the substance of our deeds. Epictetus, in his discourses, emphasized the importance of focusing on internal validation rather than seeking external approval. He stated, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." This principle applies directly to the temptation to boast. True strength and self-worth are cultivated internally, through consistent virtuous action and a commitment to living in accordance with nature. Boasting, on the other hand, is an outward projection of insecurity, a reliance on the opinions of others to bolster our own fragile sense of self. Furthermore, the Stoics recognize that boasting often backfires. It can alienate others, breed resentment, and ultimately undermine the very recognition we seek. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advised, "Do not be proud of expertise in any particular field. If you achieve something good with hard work, the achievement is sufficient reward. You have no need for anything further." This highlights the Stoic belief that the reward for virtuous action lies in the action itself, not in the accolades or recognition it may bring. True satisfaction comes from living a life of purpose and integrity, not from external validation. Seneca further emphasized the importance of letting actions speak for themselves. He wrote, "Deeds are fruits, words are but leaves." This powerful metaphor illustrates the Stoic emphasis on substance over superficiality. True strength and accomplishment are manifest in tangible results, not in empty pronouncements. Boasting is akin to displaying leaves while lacking the nourishing fruit of genuine achievement. Therefore, when tempted to boast, the Stoic approach is to cultivate inner strength and let our actions speak for themselves. Focus on living virtuously, pursuing excellence in our endeavors, and contributing positively to the world. True strength doesn't need to announce itself. It resonates quietly but powerfully through the quality of our actions and the integrity of our character. This quiet confidence, rooted in self-awareness and virtuous action, is far more impactful and enduring than any amount of self-promotion. 6. In moments of grief or loss. The Stoics, while acknowledging the natural human response to grief. Emphasize the importance of accepting what we cannot control and focusing on what lies within our power, our thoughts and actions. In moments of grief and loss, words often fail to provide genuine comfort. Silence, in the Stoic view, can be a more potent expression of empathy and support, allowing the grieving individual to process their emotions without the pressure of social expectations or platitudes. Simply being present, offering a quiet and steady presence, can offer more solace than 1,000 empty words. Epictetus, in his Enchiridion, wrote, "Some things are in our control and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions. Loss, by its very nature, falls outside our control, while grief is a natural response. Allowing it to consume us completely is a choice." The Stoic approach encourages us to acknowledge the pain of loss while focusing on what we can control, our response to it. A quiet, supportive presence allows the grieving individual to navigate this process without feeling the need to perform or articulate their grief in a socially acceptable manner. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, explored the nature of grief extensively. He acknowledged its power, but also emphasized the importance of finding solace in reason and virtue. While words of comfort might offer temporary respite, true strength in the face of grief comes from within. A silent presence allows the individual to connect with their inner resilience, to find strength in the face of adversity. This silent support, free from judgment or expectation, can be far more empowering than any well-intentioned words. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This memento mori, a reminder of our own mortality, encourages us to appreciate the present moment and to focus on what truly matters. In the face of loss, this perspective can offer a sense of grounding, reminding us of the preciousness of life and the importance of cherishing the connections we have. A silent presence embodies this appreciation, conveying a deep understanding of the fragility of life and the profound impact of loss. Therefore, in moments of grief, the Stoic approach emphasizes quiet empathy and unwavering presence over empty words. By accepting what we cannot control and focusing on our own virtuous actions, we offer genuine support and create a space for the grieving individual to find their own path towards healing and acceptance. This silent presence, grounded in Stoic principles, speaks volumes about our compassion and understanding, offering solace and strength in the face of life's inevitable sorrows. 7. When you need to reflect and introspect. The Stoics highly valued introspection and self-reflection as essential practices for cultivating wisdom and living a virtuous life. Silence, they believed, was the key to unlocking this inner world. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This highlights the Stoic belief that true peace and clarity reside within, accessible through the practice of quiet contemplation. Epictetus stressed the importance of examining our own judgments and perceptions. He said, "It's not things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about these things." Silence provides the space necessary to examine these judgments, to understand the root of our emotions, and to cultivate a more rational and objective perspective. This process of self-examination is crucial for identifying and overcoming negative thought patterns and cultivating inner resilience. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, advocated for regular periods of solitude and reflection. He understood that constant external stimulation hinders our ability to connect with our inner selves. Silence allows us to detach from the noise of the world and to focus on what truly matters: our character, our values, and our actions. This inner focus is essential for personal growth and for living a life in accordance with reason and virtue. Furthermore, the Stoics recognize that clarity often emerges from stillness. By quieting the external and internal chatter, we create space for insights and solutions to surface. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." This contemplation of the natural world and our place within it fosters a sense of perspective and allows us to connect with a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. Through silent reflection, we can gain clarity about our values and priorities, enabling us to make more informed and purposeful choices in our lives. 8. When observing and learning. The Stoics valued observation as a crucial element in understanding the world and living in accordance with nature. True learning, they believed, often requires quiet observation, a mindful absorption of information without the distraction of preconceived notions or the impulse to immediately react. Seneca, in his Letters from a Stoic, stated, "By observing what others do, learn what to do, and by observing what they avoid, learn what to avoid." This highlights the Stoic emphasis on learning through careful observation of both positive and negative examples. Epictetus stressed the importance of separating our judgments from our observations. He stated, "Appearances to the mind are of four kinds. Things either are what they appear to be, or they neither are, nor appear to be, or they are, and do not appear to be, or they are not, and yet appear to be. Rightly to aim in all these cases is the wise man's task." This underscores the need for careful observation and critical thinking, recognizing that appearances can be deceiving. Through quiet observation and reflection, we can strive to discern the true nature of things. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, encouraged a mindful approach to observation. He wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." This emphasizes the importance of not only observing the external world, but also turning our attention inwards, cultivating self-awareness through introspection. Furthermore, the Stoics believe that true understanding comes not only from observing, but also from actively listening. By quieting our own internal chatter and truly attending to the words and actions of others, we can gain deeper insights into their perspectives and motivations. This active listening, coupled with careful observation, forms the foundation for meaningful learning and informed judgment. By embracing silence and cultivating a receptive mind, we can gain a richer and more nuanced understanding of the world around us and our place within it. 9. During negotiation. While Stoicism doesn't explicitly advocate for manipulating others through strategic silence, it does emphasize the importance of self-control, reasoned judgment, and understanding human nature. In a negotiation, silence can be a powerful tool, not necessarily to create discomfort and extract concessions, but rather to maintain composure. Observe carefully and respond thoughtfully. Epictetus, in his Discourses, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This self-mastery is crucial in negotiations, where emotional reactivity can lead to poor decisions. Seneca, in his Letters from a Stoic, stated, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This principle applies equally to negotiations. Silence provides a buffer against impulsive reactions, allowing us to assess the situation objectively and respond strategically, rather than viewing silence as a tactic to exploit the other party's discomfort. The Stoic approach would emphasize its value in maintaining our own equanimity and facilitating clear thinking. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advised, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In the context of a negotiation, this suggests that we should not resort to manipulative tactics, even if the other party employs them. Instead, we should maintain our integrity and strive for a mutually beneficial outcome. Silence can be instrumental in this approach, allowing us to avoid escalating conflict and creating space for reasoned discussion. While strategic silence might lead to the other party revealing information or offering concessions. The Stoic focus would be on using that information wisely and fairly. The goal is not to win at all costs, but to reach a just and equitable resolution, even if it requires compromise. This approach, grounded in Stoic principles of virtue and reason, fosters trust and builds stronger, more sustainable relationships, even in the context of potentially adversarial negotiations. 10. When you want to conserve your energy. The Stoics recognize the importance of conserving energy, not just physical energy, but also mental and emotional energy. They understood that excessive talking can be a drain on these resources, scattering our focus and hindering our ability to engage effectively with what truly matters. Silence, in the Stoic view, offers a valuable opportunity to recharge and direct our energies towards more meaningful pursuits. Seneca, in On Tranquility of Mind, stated, "There is a need for someone to pull you back from external concerns and to remind you that you only lose your time when you pay attention to the passing world." This resonates with the idea that excessive talking, often about trivial matters, dissipates our energy and distracts us from what is truly important, our inner lives and our pursuit of virtue. Silence allows us to reclaim this lost energy and refocus our attention inwards. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, advised, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This highlights the Stoic belief that our thoughts and judgments, not external events, are the primary source of our distress. Excessive talking, fueled by anxieties and negative thoughts, can exacerbate this distress. Silence allows us to step back from these thoughts, to examine them objectively, and to cultivate a more peaceful and balanced inner state. Furthermore, Epictetus emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control. He stated, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control." Our own thoughts and actions are within our control. The words and actions of others are not. By embracing silence, we conserve our energy and focus on what we can influence, our own inner world and our responses to external events. This mindful conservation of energy allows us to engage more effectively with the challenges and opportunities that life presents, aligning our actions with our values and striving towards a life of purpose and virtue. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the power of silence. I hope these Stoic insights have provided you with valuable tools and perspectives for navigating the complexities of life. Remember, silence is not weakness. It is a source of strength, resilience, and wisdom. By embracing the power of silence, you can navigate life's challenges with greater clarity, control, and inner peace. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to Stoic Spirit for more explorations of Stoic philosophy and its practical applications in modern life. Your support helps us to continue creating content that empowers you to live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Share and comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the power of silence and how you plan to incorporate these principles into your own life. Until next time, stay strong, stay mindful, and embrace the quiet strength within.